So as promised in the top 5 summer whiskeys of 2024, this is 5 simple summer cocktails that you can make with these 6 ingredients. Stay tuned after the break and we're going to talk about it. All right, so special thanks to my cocktail guys. Both of them are pretty common on this channel. Brad and Brett both helped me concoct this list, no pun intended. The thing that I was trying to do, right, is I'm trying to make this so that you can go into pretty much most grocery stores. You can buy these 6 ingredients and you can make 5 different cocktails. You know, this is not a list of whiskey and Coke or whiskey ginger. It is simply a list of these cocktails that you can make with these 6 ingredients, and they're going to turn out great. You're going to be able to batch them as well. In the description will be the recipes for all these cocktails after we talk about them if you want to reference it. There's also batched recipes. So if you take a standard 750 milliliter bottle, I have done the math so that you can make a batched version of these cocktails and have all the ingredients to make it in a 750 milliliter bottle. It'll be a little bit less than 750 milliliters, but it will fit into an empty liquor bottle. All of that being said, if you want whiskeys to make these cocktails with, refer back to the top 5 summer whiskeys of 2024 list. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to make any of these cocktails. I'm simply going to give you recipes and then we're going to move on. So let's meet the ingredients, right? These are the 6 ingredients that you need. Ingredient number 1, apple juice. We're using this in place of simple syrup in most places. You can use simple syrup if you want to. It'll add a little bit of juiciness to it. Plus, I mean, if you're a parent, most likely you have apple juice on hand. It's not something you're going to have to, buy special for this. Apple juice in place of simple syrup in most places. We got Simply Berry Lemonade. This is the with raspberry. There's also a with strawberry. I spent way too much time trying to decide between the two, and then my wife just go with raspberry. So we went with raspberry. We have ginger beer. So this is Cock and Bull ginger beer. And yes, the person checking me out did absolutely judge me for buying something named Cock and Bull. Understood. So the next ingredient we have is lime juice. Now, you can use fresh limes if you want to. If you want to feel a little bit better about it and have a little bit more fancy of a cocktail, that is not generally what this video is. This video is giving you simple. This is giving you easy to make, easy to batch kind of cocktail ideas. So if you want to use fresh limes, that's great. 1 ounce of lime juice is equal to about the juice of 1 lime. So if you want to swap that, totally fine. That is your prerogative. I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible. So the next ingredient is peppermint extract. You're going to want to work in like very small doses. And actually, if you can find yourself a little dropper bottle, that would probably be best, and do it in drops to taste, not necessarily 1/8 of a teaspoon. 1/8 of a teaspoon, I think, is about 4 drops. So if you want to get a dropper, do that way. Much easier, probably better in the long run. But in a pinch, you can use 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then finally, bitters. I mean, Angostura bitters. You can find those almost anywhere. That is going to be the 6 ingredients you need to make these 5 cocktails. And let's start talking about the cocktails. First off, every whiskey lover knows this cocktail, and it is the old-fashioned. So we're going to make this one with basically apple juice instead of simple syrup. So it's going to be 1 ounce of apple juice, 2 ounces of whiskey, 4 dashes of bitters. Simple, easy, awesome. If you want to add cherries to it, if you want to add orange peel or lemon peel as a garnish, totally do that. If you want to fancy these up, great. There's tons of fancy recipes here on the internet. This is simple. That's what it's designed to be. If you do batch this, I would be a little careful with it since it is a 2-to-1 whiskey ratio, or just pick something that's 80 proof. That's fine too. That can kind of help stretch it so you're not getting super blitzed in the sun. That's not always a good thing. Next one on the list is the mint julep. This one is going to be 1 ounce apple juice or simple syrup if you really want to do that. It is also 2 ounces of whiskey and 1/8 of a teaspoon of mint extract. So as we talked about that, you want to probably be real light on that. If you don't have 1/8 of a teaspoon, just do it to taste. It would be very careful with adding it though, because that mint extract will take over. If that's what you want, great. If not, it can absolutely ruin it. So I would be very careful adding that. It's a great derby cocktail. It's great for being refreshing and minty. Whatever you want it for, it is pretty versatile. I know one of my buddies, Chad, will crush an entire pitcher of these if you let him. It's definitely one that you can make, and even not whiskey people will probably enjoy it. Next one we've got is the Smash. It is a play off of a blackberry smash. Usually there's fresh fruit in those. There does not need to be in this, but if you've got fruit laying around and want to throw it in, go for it. muddle it up ahead of time, and then add the ingredients. So the ingredients for this one are 1 ounce of blackberry lemonade, 2 ounces of whiskey, 1/8 of a teaspoon mint, and a 1/2 ounce of lime juice. These are great. They go down easy, and they will definitely be something that non-whiskey people will still enjoy. That's part of this list too. I didn't say it expressly at the beginning, but we're also trying to make cocktails that if you're going on vacation and you're spending time with family and there are a bunch of not whiskey people around, you can make these cocktails, and I think they will still be good to even not whiskey people. So smash, great one, easy to crush. Definitely a good poolside drink, and that's why it's third on our list. The next one we've got is the Kentucky Mule. It's a variation on the Moscow Mule, only instead of vodka, obviously, you put whiskey in it. You can definitely use fresh mint if you have it, or, you can find it at the store. I didn't use fresh mint in this list expressly because it is very difficult for me to find in stores. If you live anywhere near me, I have a ton of fresh mint because I told my wife I want mint apocalypse now in our backyard, and she's making that a reality. So fresh mint, definitely good for this, but the mint extract will work brilliantly in this. But the actual recipe, getting to that, is 2 ounces of ginger beer, 1 ounce of whiskey, 1/8 of a teaspoon mint extract, or you can probably get 5 or 6 mint leaves, muddle those up, and then a 1/2 ounce of lime juice. This might not speak as much to non-whiskey people, and the ginger beer is very in your face. However, I really like this drink, and it is really good with a cigar. So if you are a cigar smoker and you're looking for a drink that will nicely complement a good, solid Maduro cigar, this is a great one. So great for summer evenings, great for whatever you want it to be. Definitely try this Kentucky Mule recipe. Finally, the one that brings most of our ingredients together, right? It uses 4 of our 6 ingredients, and that is the whiskey sour. We kind of crowdsourced this recipe. I had ideas for the first 4, and then I brought this to Brad and Brett and was like, hey, let's crowdsource a recipe that uses as many of these ingredients as we can. And if you want to do bitters in it, it's not obviously going to make it worse. So your base is 1 ounce of lime juice. Then you want to go 1 ounce of blackberry lemonade, 1 ounce of ginger beer, and 2 ounces of whiskey. And that is going to be a solid sour recipe with just a little bit of spice to it. It's a little a-traditional. It's not like your traditional whiskey sours. It also does not have egg, which is exactly why I would drink it, because I do not like whiskey sours with egg. That's just me. Now, Brett did caution that you probably want to shake these ingredients as opposed to stir them. The rest of these, I think you can probably get away with just stirring. This one you want to shake specifically to make sure all of that comes out great, and I think it'll mix that ginger beer in a little bit better so you don't end up with a layer of ginger beer at some point. That is my 5 cocktails. I would love it if you take your favorite cocktail recipes. It doesn't have to be simple. It can be whatever you want. Drop your favorite cocktail recipes in the comments. Tell people what you like to make, and maybe they can try out yours as well. If you have content suggested for us in the future, definitely leave that in the comments as well. We will do our best to make that a reality. If you like this content, check out our other videos. Please like and comment on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us out a ton. And finally, we hope you'll join us in drinking like a gentleman. Cheers. Top 5 summer whiskeys. That's what I need. Okay? Don't get that twisted. So as promised in the top 5 whiskeys for summer, well, nope, top 5 summer whiskeys. It is not that difficult.